This is Cynthia Ortiz. This is part 2 of I Rejected You and I Left. 10 years ago, move on. I've been rejected. I just moved on. Next. So you are inept and you're incompetent and you're getting told on every day. Look at this. Get her a bus pass, make her leave Oklahoma. Get her a bus pass, make her leave Oklahoma. Look at that. That's how many recordings we have of you talking about just the bus pass. Goes back to 2021. What are we going to do with those recordings, Charles? I don't have the actual recordings. These are emails I typed up. Bus pass. Get her a bus pass, make her leave Oklahoma. She can't stay in Oklahoma. Why? What's it to you? I rejected you and I left. Move the fuck on, pussy. This is Cynthia Ortiz. These are the Charles Perry Stalker podcasts. He's a pussy and a coward, and he's inept, and he can't keep up with everybody else. Or he wouldn't be bothering, we wouldn't be having this conversation. How many men try to beat down one woman and make me fail? How many men, supposed to be big, strong guys, chivalrous, have to beat down one woman and make me fail to feel tough? Yeah. Okay, so it's kind of pathetic, don't you think? I don't like you, Charles. I don't do weird guy. I don't do peepin' Tom. I don't do creepster. I don't do, cruelty. I don't do, chivalrous or fuck off. Just like that. I don't do canned food guy. You're fucking broke. I'm used to being treated better. I think my friend said that. Said made sure he would have never let her sleep in a car, much less make that happen. There's no way. And that's who I was with. That's who I introduced to my family. That's who I was, for 4 years. So, for 10 years, I rejected you. 10 years. You're rejected. Move on. I said no. No means no. Quit being a pussy about it and move on. Quit being a coward. Quit being inept and move the fuck on. We've always controlled the flow of information. Always. Because people are sick of you. People are disgusted by you. So, why do you think we're getting it? Gosh, if you think you know so much, tough guy who beats down women, then please tell us, why is it you think we're getting this? And in your pretend land, what are we going to do with it? If not to put you in jail. See, I'll eat out of a dumpster for a little while, because what that does is pisses the fuck out of your leaks get pissed. Whoever else we have, that we're getting information out of, boy, they get mad. We get a fuck ton of intel out of that. And then they'll put you in jail, and I won't ever be broke again. Ever. So, you can live with your choices, right? Look at that. What a pussy. She's got to leave, but we can't let her stay here. We get, for doing stuff like that to me, we got your people's names. Look at this. Get her a passport. Take a picture of her license. Get her passport. We're going to use forged documents to get her passport. Look at that. How many of those do we have? It goes back to 2021. Passport. Who has those actual recordings? They're going to use them to put you in jail. Okay? And then I won't be broke ever again. Look at all those. Okay, if we're getting tipped off before you do it, you really think you control Oklahoma law enforcement? Who's controlling? How do we get this? You don't think there's some of them that want to make, just wish you'd fucking go away? Nobody invited you to Oklahoma. You don't live here. Don't you want to run for governor of Texas? How are you going to do that when you're always in Oklahoma? So some guy said he wants to run for governor just last week. Yeah, she hadn't eaten for 4 days. You don't run for governor and come up here and do that and try to kidnap her. It looks like you've tried twice. So, if he wants to run for governor, then he needs to go to Texas and run for governor. But I'll tell you one thing, he's caught. And if he's too stupid to tell that he's caught, he doesn't need to be governor. He's not qualified. He's not all there. And if you can't tell that when you get caught, you stop. That's when you stop. then he's inept and he can't run for governor. So no, I don't believe he will be running for governor. Don't you have Huntington's disease that causes paranoia, delusion, psychosis, impaired cognitive reasoning, hallucinations? When you go at me, you get caught, and you do it anyway. And you have for 10 years. We quote you every day. Let's name your people again. Lucius, Calvin, Sonjay, Betancourt, Bruce, Oscar, James, Reuben, Richard, Dickey, Andrew, Lawrence, Beverly, Renee, Greg, Tim, Larry. Aren't those your people? Who's the Muffin Man? That's a nickname. What does Papa John's mean when you make delivery of a trafficking victim? Coercion is a crime. Deprivation with intent to coerce. Deprivation of food and shelter. Basic human rights and needs. This case was opened, sir, on a human rights violation. Are you raping kids? They're shitting the floor. They said your Houston compound smells like the sewer because the kids are getting sodomized and they're shitting all over the floor. Is that true or not? You tell us. Didn't your guy say the burden of proof is on you? You have to prove she lied and know she lied. Is it true? Boy, we got the intel, sir, that says you have women held hostage in a compound in Houston. Your attack on me substantiates that. Why retaliate against someone who doesn't know anything? Why punish somebody who's not right? Why try to destroy someone who's not correct on fact? Do you have women held hostage at a compound south of Houston? Is Natalie Holloway there? Did you kill Chief Miller and try to kill Mike and frame him when he did not die because you got caught and you obstructed justice? I have a traffic court case next week. Are you trying to obstruct that case as well? Are you trying to impede court processes as well? You tell us. We're looking at your actions and we're saying, yeah, it looks like it. You don't try to destroy someone who's wrong. You want me to lie for you? And I said no. I said, fuck you. You are off your nut that you have the nerve to even ask me. So, we heard you today. She can't stay in Oklahoma. What is it to you? What is it to you? Last night you got recorded telling my ex-husband, we're going to make it where she can't make any money tomorrow. She's going to call you. Tell her no. Let us know if she puts any pressure on you. Recorded by police. Okay, if not police, in your pretend world, what is it? And if not for court, if not to put you in jail so you can't hurt people anymore and put anyone else through the hell you put me through, then what is it for in your make-believe world? Huh? We say it, then we show you. You fuck with me, you get caught. You're not wanted, you're told on. You're rejected and told on every day, and you have been for 10 years. And that is your life, and that is the best you'll ever do. Do you have children and women held hostage at a compound south of Houston that you are pimping out? You're using them and their bodies to make a profit. And they go without food sometimes. And the kids are shitting on the floor because they're being raped. And it smells like the sewer in that place. That's our intel. Is it true or not? You tell us. You tell us, pussy. Fucking coward beating down kids like that. I don't have any words for you. Our shrink is like he likes deviant men. Because Cynthia says what she likes. She likes her privacy. She likes men who are chivalrous. She likes men who respect boundaries. And she only goes out with a man who makes sure she never misses a meal. Or fuck off. No canned food. I'm used to a higher standard of living, Mr. Perry. If you're broke, not my problem. Don't bother me with it. I don't do canned food. You've taken my steak that I could make. And my friend said that. We saw her make money. I made money for my aunt. My family saw me when I first got here walk in the room with wads of cash, and I didn't even know how to dance yet. But why am I having to dance? Why did I go from a professional businesswoman to dancing, to door dashing? Right when I met you. Yeah. So, if I'm not wrong, I mean, if you want to attract someone, you do what they like. So our shrink's like, he doesn't like her. He wants a lie. He says, everybody who will listen, I'm going to starve her until she lies. That's it. We're going to starve her until she lies. Until she lies, we're going to starve her. We're going to use the justice system and put her in jail and then put that affidavit lie in front of her and tell her you recant everything you've said for the past 10 years in court under oath. Your court testimony recanted. Or you can sit here and rot. We'll do to you what we did to Mike Neely. Right? Isn't that what you tell everybody? That's what you're after. She said he likes deviant men. He surrounds himself with deviant men. These men are not normal. These men are as far outside social norms as it gets. They'll do every weirdo, creepy thing in the book, and then some. Stuff normal people couldn't think up if they had to. Sick, twisted shit. Very offensive. And it's illegal because it's offensive. And that's who he is. That's his character. That's what he's about. Because if he liked women, he would do what women like. Cynthia flat said, here's what I like and here's what I don't like. He does everything she hates and then can't figure out why she don't like him. And that's bullshit. He knows exactly why she doesn't like him. He doesn't want her, he wants to lie. I will not give you that. I'll fucking eat out of a dumpster. I'm 3 days now without food. I had a little piece of cucumber, a little piece of cheese, and a little bag of almonds for 3 days. I will not help you. We're getting the help with information like this because you don't control Oklahoma law enforcement, as it turns out. Yeah, I know that busts your pretend life, doesn't it? Your make-believe world where you have power. Look at this. Make her leave Oklahoma. I'm going to break into your home, beat the shit out of you every day, rape you, tear up your crap, and then tell you to leave your own house. And why doesn't she like me? I don't know. What could it be? Look at that. Who can we get to tell her she has to leave? Her uncle, her cousin? And I'm like, no, my cousin and my uncle were not. They opened their home. They opened their heart. They opened their lives to you and shoved me out. So they have zero influence with me. All they're going to do is use their mouth to say your words. The same thing with my ex-husband and the same thing with my son. Yeah, you ran all my friends off. I don't listen to anybody but the guys that gave me this right here. Okay? She has to leave. Oh, she can't stay here. It's not, it's not up to you. If we got this, I'll eat out of a dumpster till they put you in jail, and then I'll never be broke again. So how's that? How much am I worth eating out of a dumpster? I guess we're about to find out. Take her car. See? Every damn day y'all want to take my car. Make her destitute. Starve her. Beat a woman down. How many men try to make one woman fail? That's pretty pathetic right there. Take her car. Take her car. Rogers County was supposed to pull her over last night. We got it before. So you don't control Oklahoma law enforcement, as it turns out. Who is? How do we get that? Let's see about Rogers County, how many there are of that. It's September 15th. There's more than that. Look at that. Going back to 2022. 2020. Had Rogers County watching to pull her over. 2020. Retaliation against a witness. Title 18 of the United States Code 1512 and 1513. You're in violation of that, and I'm not your attorney. I can read, though. Can't your attorney read? Look at that. What is that all about? Yeah. But if we get the information before, they didn't pull me over. I didn't go. I didn't go, did I? No. Because I got tipped off. So if I'm getting tipped off, Mr. Perry, do you really control Oklahoma law enforcement? Maybe some of those guys actually don't like you at all. Maybe they think you're a pussy coward to pick on a woman too. Maybe they don't like a cop killer. Mike and Lucky were looking into what you were doing in Houston, weren't they? Because my case landed on their desk 6 days before the murder of Chief Miller. And you obstructed justice doing that. You're a cop killer. Prove I'm not. Prove I'm lying, that I know I'm lying. Do it, I dare you. Come on, pussy. You kill cops and you think that makes you tough? And you think you control Oklahoma law enforcement? We get tipped off this much? You're off your nut. Friday night, did the guy take a picture of my driver's license and my insurance and give it to you? We kept saying he would. Calvin kept calling that in. We heard him every time he did. Have Broken Arrow pull her over. Have Jinx pull her over. We need you to pull her over and get a picture of her passport and of her driver's license and get it to me so I can make a passport for her. They're going to kidnap her and ship her off somewhere. Yep, we got it before. So, before he did it, one guy said, this is a bad decision. Mr. Perry has a diagnosed mental illness. I'm a cop. My reputation's important to me. I'm not going to do it. I'm not putting my name on the bad decision of a mentally ill man. She already knows it. She's already talked about it. It's a bad decision. Find a stupid one. So did you? Friday night, you found a stupid one? I'm sorry. If you can't be a cop and relieve suffering caused by crime, I don't have any use for you, and I don't owe you. Fuck. We have the right to redress. And if we're not getting our tax dollars worth out of guys who have a roof over their head and a car in their driveway and clothes on their back and food on their table, you don't miss a meal. You don't get to discriminate against us because we're women. Equal protection. Misogyny is a thing of the past. There's a Me Too movement now. Defunding police should have shown you people are disgusted with cops like that. They've tried to get rid of you. I'm not for that. I'm really not, because there are a lot of good cops, like the ones that got me all that. Okay? Those guys deserve the money that they make from the taxpayers. You don't get to use taxpayer-funded resources, Charles, for your personal profit to deliver the victim of human trafficking, and you've tried. And we know you've tried. And if I get tipped off before, if we get that intel before, you don't run Oklahoma law enforcement, sir. I don't know who does. Maybe our guys. Who's running Oklahoma law enforcement? Yeah, you get told on, so it's not you. Look at that. Can we not get her to follow the yellow brick road? We're using the carrot and the stick approach with her. She gets punished if she won't do what we say. We don't let her eat. We deprive her of food and shelter, intending to coerce her and tamper with a witness and a victim, and violate and retaliate. Violate her constitutional rights, every right she has, and try to sit around, all of us 30 guys, and figure out how to make one woman fail. 30 guys, so pathetic and so pussy, they pick on one woman to feel tough. I have no words for that. No one's done a thing to you. I came to Oklahoma to be with my family and to never again have anything to do with Charles Perry and his strange-o problems and his whack job problems and his cruelty and his abuse. Economic abuse, Charles, is part of domestic violence. I'm in Oklahoma. Why are you here? You don't live here? Are you running for governor of Oklahoma? Does Governor Stitt know? You don't matter. We do. The victims. That's why we get the help. You don't. I know you wish you were important. You're not. So the guy's like, yeah, I'm not going to do it. Yellow brick road. Our guys are the carrot. You're the stick. Did you realize that? You go around beating down people. You go around blowing up people's lives. You go around being cruel. Pretty soon people get sick of that. Somebody said, I can imagine they have leagues. Because everywhere David Robertson and Charles Perry go, there's drama and problems and everything's a mess. And it's not too long and everybody's broken. I know that people are really, really tired of that. Everyone is sick of it. So they're getting some pushback now, huh? Somebody comes in and says, I got an alternative for you. Like our guys, they got me this. What do you think's going to happen? They're going to help us, not you. They want you gone. You weren't invited to Oklahoma, Charles. I rejected you and left. You're inept and you're a fail as a man if you can't just move on like everybody else. Stalking is a felony in all 50 states. For you, it's federal. Do you live in Oklahoma? Why are you here? Why are you in Oklahoma? I came here to be with my family and get away from you, and you get anywhere near me, I'll kick the fuck out of you. You and Larry both. Both of you. I reject you. I'm not going to be trafficked, Charles. I will eat out of a dumpster. We'll see how much I'm worth then. This is day 3 I've gone without food. Day 3 I've gone without food. Okay? You get a kick out of starving women to death. That's why you're all by yourself. You don't have a woman. You can't treat women right. You won't have one. So you don't. You're by yourself. For 10 years, you sit on your fat, lazy ass, and you pervert around, and you watch women in the privacy of their home against their will, and you pretend that's a real love life, and it's not. And when we get this kind of stuff, sir, what do you think we're going to do with it in that pretend life you have? They're going to put you in jail with it. That's what we're saying. It's law enforcement getting this, and they're going to put you in jail with it. Period. So that you can't hurt people like this anymore. And I won't ever be broke again. I'll never be broke again. You'll be gone. I won't have the problems I have now. You won't be around to cause them. You're rejected because you cause problems. You're a troublemaker. So everybody's tired of that. People don't like problems. They don't like drama. They don't like hardship. They don't like suffering. In fact, in Lonnie Athens' video, one of the shrinks says, they're evaluating why in the fuck would anyone act like that. Violent offenders. Why does somebody become a violent offender? Domestic violence, Charles, is a violent offense. You've tried to kill me more than once. Haven't you? Syringe, having a brick thrown at me, put arsenic in her drinks. Right? David said, yeah, we put arsenic in your drinks. In a text. Tulsa police didn't see that. They didn't bother to look. Yep. Tulsa's finest. Didn't bother to look. Didn't bother to get my blood tested. Didn't collect shit. He said that 99.9% of the population is not violent. Only 0.1% of it can't keep up with everybody else. So, what makes a person act like that? Go so far outside social norms and cause so much harm and damage to the rest of society. The law is in place to protect people from injury and loss from guys like you. If the conduct is offensive and causes loss and injury, then they usually make it illegal, like peeping, hacking. I have the right to privacy in my phone. You don't have the right to hack it. You don't have the right to hack my Dasher app to starve me until I lie. Okay? Make it where I can't pay my bills and interfere with commerce contracts. So my gym membership's late now because of you. So that's another charge that will be added to the list of things that our guys are going to charge you with. Any kind of late fees, any kind of, that's you're gonna pay for it. Just like that. That's what you're gonna do. It's not up to you. We got this, didn't we? Your yellow brick road is hell. It's not yellow brick road. I mean, who do you think you're talking to? I've heard the recordings of y'all. I hear them every day. Who is it that you fucking think you're talking to? That you think you could lie like that? Oh, come here. We'll make you have this good life, and we'll make sure you have this and you have that bullshit. Those women at that compound go without food too, don't they? Yeah, you do what you do. It's probably a lot worse for them than it is for me. They get raped too. Right now, I'm not getting raped. But if I go with you, I will be. And I said no. I'll eat out of a dumpster, thanks. I don't want you to touch me. I'll kick the fuck out of you. I don't want you to touch me, you gross piece of shit. Skank. So, one of the shrinks in there says it's not just abuse and psychologically damaging to someone being abused, but also watching it. It's very traumatic, even for those people watching another person be harmed and be made to suffer and be abused. So, when you get these in, maybe that's somebody's had enough of it. And you're just a fail as a man. You're a pussy and a coward who needs to beat down women to feel tough. And I said no to your lie. I won't lie for you. You're off your nut. That you would even ask, that you have the nerve to even ask me. That you have that. My friend's like, yeah, she's fighting against you. Cindy, I watched her fight hard for her patients and her kids. And if she's willing to live in her car and go without food to fight against you, then she doesn't like you. She doesn't want you. You're not good enough if you would do that to her. That's why she was doing it. You're not good enough. Because I promise you something, Said would have never let that happen. Ever. Much less cause it. And she did date him. She actually walked in the room with him. I introduced him to my family. My family sat and ate dinner with him many a night. Both in Tulsa and in Vegas. They'd come to Vegas and breakfast. So I'm, I don't know what planet you live on that you think a woman is going to do what you want by you starving her and being abusive and cruel. What happens is instead you get told on. Sir, you've been rejected and told on for 10 years and that's all you got. That's your life. That's the best you can ever do. It's all you've ever done. My answer is no. Did you want to see how much I'm worth when I'm eating out of a dumpster? Fine. And then the guys will put you in jail and I'll never be broke again. This is over. You want to take my car? I know you never shut up about it. Wreck it, ruin the engine, or just take it. Right? So what did Rogers County supposed to pull me over for last night? Had she gone to work at this club, Rogers County was going to pull her over. And this would be over. Really? Because they were going to do what? If I got tipped off before, you don't run Oklahoma law enforcement. Who does? You're using taxpayer-funded resources for your personal profit because you think that would coerce me into being trafficked, where you could collect the money that Larry owes you for the other half. He paid you half up front, right? And half is due on delivery. And then you got a list of people you're going to be paid. Maybe my ex-husband, maybe my son. Are they on that list? Was Ernest supposed to get 25 grand? Yes or no? You tell us. I'm not asserting a lie. I'm not asserting a truth. I'm asking you the question. Is that true or not? That's what our intel says. That's the working theory. Prove it out or not. Prove it out or not. A lot of these things get proven out when you do it. It's just intel. Police record a lot of things. Doesn't mean it's fact. It goes through a process of being proven out. Is it good intel or bad intel? And it's proven good when you do exactly what's in the email or in the recording. I'm typing up an email from a police recording. Mr. Perry, when you contact me, we always get more. Is that what you want? When you make me broke, we always get more. Is that what you want? When you invade my privacy, they invade yours. Is that what you want? They have a court order, or you have a leak, and when you invade my privacy, you just got a weirdo problem you have absolutely no power over. It's very embarrassing to me. Very embarrassing to me. You can't control yourself. And go work. And don't bother people. Just go to your place where your family is and go work. Instead of coming to Oklahoma and harassing me, and then when I say, leave me alone, get out of my wallet, get out of my privacy, you claim you're being harassed. Yeah, how embarrassing. How fucking embarrassing for you. Look at this. Starve her till she lies. 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 Starve her till she apologizes. Starve her till she signs my lie affidavit. Starve her until she lies. Look at the dates on this. Deprivation of food and shelter with intent to coerce. Interference with commerce and contracts with intent to coerce. Right? Starve her till she lies. Starve her till she lies. Make her sign the affidavit lie. Make her lie for me. Make her lie for me. Starve her till she lies. What did you want me to lie about? That I knew Mike Neely was drugged before anybody else said it, or that it was confirmed in deposition months after I said it in an email to the Florida State's Attorney, January 2020, again in February 2020, again in March 2020. And they said it in May 2020 depositions of first responders. We gave him Narcan. He was dying of opioid overdose. Not a bump on the head. Not from being hit in a drunken brawl. He was found unconscious and in respiratory distress because somebody gave him opioids and he was about to die of overdose. Did you do that? If you put arsenic in my drinks, you put opioids in his, and then within a week, both of us are false arrested. Within a week. They were talking about Jeff Epstein and how scumbag he was. And just a few hours before the murder, they took your case when I filed a vandalism case, and I said, I don't know who did it. No one does. But it's probably the guy stalking me. One of them has his employees 3 doors down. That room he was in is covered with powder. The same powder that's in my trunk. It's like they just wanted to get in my new car, and they threw a brick at me and totaled my other car. So I got a new car. It's like they just wanted to get in to let me know they could. They get the key from the dealer, Mo, at Good Deal. They always have. That's what they do. Now you have sold my car. I understand if this is true or not. You prove it out one way or the other. You sold my car out from under me to Mo. And he wants to come get it. You want it towed and taken to his place. And you wanted to see if my insurance would cover a rental. Right? Is that what you were doing? I don't know. It's just intel. Some's good, some's bad. You prove it out. So we got all that. Violation of human rights. That'll cause some problems, sir, on the international, thing of negotiating. You got to get rid of the human rights in your country. Why? You have it in yours. Look at this. Look at these Texas billionaires. You're not billionaires, you're canned food. Look what time I sent that. 1:47 this morning. Told you so. So I DoorDashed for an hour and a half. I got one order for $4. Nothing else all day. And it's like saying it's busy. Busy, and I got one. But they did say they were in. Okay, so we told you so. Yep. And this is what you're going to do if I go back to the club. Get me fired. Have me false arrested. Make me take my article of clothing. Take my driver's license. Take my computer. Right? So I can't do school. Can't finish school. I may take a leave of absence for school. I may just say, you know what, let me quit for a bit. I'm 6 courses shy of graduation. I'll quit for a little bit so they can't use that leverage over me anymore. And then we'll see how things go. When you're in jail, I'll finish. You won't be around to cause problems anymore. We got a lot out of the last problem you caused. You caused a problem. We told you to fix it. You didn't. You pissed off a whole bunch of leagues. We find out about the Houston compound. We get the Natalie Holloway conversations. Natalie Holloway might be at that compound. There was no crime scene. There was no body found. So it's possible. And then my guy goes, let's see what happens if we tell them we're going to do an extraction. Should we move her? Is she going to remember who she is? She hasn't gone by Natalie Holloway for years. If they drop in there like they did Osama bin Laden and go up to her and say, we came to get you, you think they're going to leave everybody else behind? No. Oh, fuck no. How many kids do you have at that compound in addition to Matthew and Jordan Charles? I mean, you want to go into court and say I'm lying. So I'm not actually asserting anything. I'm just asking you. Here's the intel. You tell if it's good intel or bad intel, sir. Huh? You have to prove I'm lying, and I know I'm lying. Well, I haven't been to the compound, so I don't know. I have no idea. Right now, it's just intel. You tell us, is it true or not? Right? If they find it and do an extraction, I guess we'll know then, won't we? They're not going to leave everybody else behind and just take her. All those kids that get raped and shit on the floor and make it smell like the sewer in there. Who the fuck does shit like that? What kind of monsters do that? And if I weren't right, you wouldn't attack me. You wouldn't try to starve me to lie. Would you? You wouldn't want to arrest me and put pressure and duress on me and go, you have to lie. You want to arrest me to put me under distress and make me sign your lie? Is that what your plan was? We're going to do another false arrest because the first one was bullshit. It didn't work. We messed it all up. Nobody collected our evidence. So you can't rule out or confirm foul play. Attempted foul play. Right? Foul play cannot be ruled out because nobody got her blood to see what was in it that made her sick. The video surveillance at Lady Godiva's was destroyed. We destroyed her blood evidence. We destroyed it. Yeah, Dr. Grundy tells me, I go, they want to say I'm delusional. I need to be tested so you can say that I'm not. Well, I need your evidence. Okay, well, they destroyed my evidence. Okay, then you're not delusional. Because if you were delusional, they wouldn't have done that. I need to look at what you're looking at. And if you see something that's not there, then you're delusional. But since they destroyed your evidence, my guess is you're not. Right, Dr. Grundy. And by the way, I have a bunch of emails and texts saying he's threatening me with false arrest. I did something that is required by law in the state of Oklahoma. You are getting threatened with death and false arrest. You need a protective order. And in Oklahoma, to get a protective order by law, you have to file a police report, like it or not. So that's what I did. You charged me in Lubbock with filing a false police report and obstructed the investigation. There was nothing collected. No evidence was collected at all. In all the texts, in all the emails, there's nothing political mentioned at all. Because politically, you're not relevant. You're not relevant and you don't matter. I've been in politics all my life. You're the new guy. That's like saying the new guy needs to introduce all the neighbors to the guy that's lived there 30 years. You're off your nut. You're whacked. You're completely whacked. So that didn't work out for you. It was false imprisonment. You were trying to coerce me then. Nothing's changed. The McNamara email is about false arrest and coercion. Back then, you didn't control Oklahoma law enforcement if we got that before you did it. No. Who is? Who's controlling Oklahoma law enforcement, Charles? Not you. Not David Robertson. Not any of you. If we get it before, somebody else is controlling that, right? We got this before. You wanted Rogers County to pull me over and you want a false arrest again? You wanted to frame me for a murder? There's a woman that looks similar to me, but she's quite a bit heavier, the witnesses say. Her skin's darker and her hair's more blonde yellow. Mine's more white blonde. Hers is more yellow blonde. Right? Okay, so we got all that before, then that means you're not controlling Oklahoma law enforcement. And you're getting told on and rejected and every day for 10 years, a decade. That's the best you can do. That's the best you've ever done. Right? So, is this true or not? You wanted to do a raid? I tell my boss I'm not coming to work if it's going to cause a scene. We don't need that. I guess he's like, I need her to work. She wants to work. You're keeping her from earning a living and paying her bills. Interference with commerce and contracts with intent to coerce. Deprivation of food and shelter with intent to coerce. They got you. They got you cold on that. Count after count after count after count after count. Yep. Guilty as charged. To prove I'm lying and doesn't know I'm lying. So, look at this. She's fighting. That's the day it happened, I believe. No, that's not it. Look at that. We get it before. You don't control Oklahoma law enforcement. Who does? Look at that. We get it beforehand. You don't control Oklahoma law enforcement. We're getting tipped off, Charles. Take car. It's supposed to say car, not care. If we get it before Charles, you don't control Oklahoma law enforcement. Who does? We get it beforehand, Charles. What's the date on that? September 14. I got pulled over last Friday. Hang on. Last Friday was the 23rd. After we said it. If we get tipped off, you and David don't control Oklahoma law enforcement. Who does? See, the meaner you are to me, the more we get. You contact me, you invade my privacy, you cause me problems and drama. I don't eat, I'm broke, we always get more. It's been that way every day for 10 years, all day long. You get rejected and told on for 10 years, and that is the sum total of your life for the past decade. And you can't do any better, and because you never have. So if we get tipped off before you do it, you are not in control of local law enforcement. Who is? Who is, Charles? What are we going to do with this? In your pretend life, what are we going to do with that? We told you they're going to use it to put you in jail, and that way you can't hurt people anymore. You can't creep me out one more day. You can't embarrass me one more day. And you can't be cruel to me one more day. See, a man's kindness brings blessings. We get the help. His cruelty will be his downfall. People get mad when you're cruel, and they rant. When they're mad. People rant when they're mad. It's 10 years of this, Charles. McNamara emails in 2015. It is about false arrest and coercion. So, you didn't control Oklahoma law enforcement back then, did you? We're quoting you. You're not quoting us. We have your people's names. You don't have ours. Hansel and Gretel means to coax a victim to the club or somewhere. Mike to Pensacola. How'd you know Mike had to be begged to go? Come on, Mike. It'll be fun. He didn't want to go. You begged him to go. Then you blew up his life. So you Hansel and Gretel me to the club. You Hansel and Gretel him. Trick somebody into going somewhere where you're going to blow up their life. That's your code word. Your competing mafia thinks you're dumb as a brick and weak, that you let sensitive information like that get out. When you do the crime to me, that's what happens, though, and this is the only thing that happens. Dumb. 10 years, you can't tell cause and effect, same and different before and after, by now? Or you just want to get caught? Which one is it? You tell us, so I'm not lying. I don't want to knowingly lie, so I don't know which one it is. Are you just that stupid that you continue to do the same thing that gets you told on and rejected? And people irate at you and furious with you? Or you just like getting caught? You stupid? Or you want to be caught? Which one is it? You tell us. Yeah. If we can just take our car, this whole thing's over. Duly noted for the record. This is the day before you took my car from Flying J, pilot Flying J, where Brandon's a manager. We got it before we got tipped off. That means you don't control shit. The guys who control the flow of information, we always have. You piss everybody off, we always get more. Look at this. Dennis said he has no love for his mom. Did he? So the response to that from someone else was, her ex-husband screamed and yelled at her because Charles made her broke, so she needed money again. Charles likes hearing her beg. He's that sick. He's a sadist, a sex sadist. He's sexually dysfunctional, and he can't get a satisfaction unless he's hurting women. We heard that you go to maternity wards when you travel. Walk in a hospital, go to the maternity ward, watch women in labor, and then go in the bathroom. I'm sorry to be vulgar, but that's a very sick thing to do. And that's part of the crime causation. It's a sex crime. And you're caught when you do it to me. So my ex-husband excoriated me. I could not believe it. It was by far the worst thing he's done in a long time. Wow. So he was angry because he's supposed to get money when I'm delivered. I'm not going to be delivered, so that's never going to happen. I'll eat out of a dumpster. We'll see how much money I'm worth then. To the police helping me, I guess a lot. They get a lot of intel out of that, and then they're going to use that to put you in jail. And despite whatever you tell your make-believe world. See? So I can make money. Everybody's seen me make money all my life until you came along. It's a bad economy. My friend's like, yeah, no, it's not. You're full of shit. Besides that, Said made a job for her. If you were worth a shit, that's what you'd do. You'd never let that happen, much less cause it. If she's fighting, if she's doing it though, if she's sleeping in her car instead of being with you, she don't want you. It's that bad. You're that bad. It's better to sleep in her car and not eat. A dumpster's better than you. So, but I'll tell you what, Said had her because he treated her right. And you don't because you don't. Period. That's all there is to it. She's used to being treated right. And I am. My ex-husband used to treat me right until he got verbally abusive towards the end of our marriage. And that ended it. It took one time. He almost hit somebody. And I'm like, yeah, it's almost is all that's going to be. There's never going to be I lost my temper and I hit somebody. You almost hit somebody. That's it. We're done. We've managed to get past that and be friends until you mess that up. He thinks he's going to get money. If you deliver me, he'll get $25,000. So now he's all mad at me because I'm not going along with it. Is that true? Is that why he's hostile? Why am I having to call for help anyway? Because our guy said in March 2020, you don't invade her privacy. You don't contact her or her family. Have some respect already. And she's not to be broken, have to ask for help. Get your hands out of her wallet. We know she can make money. We've known her a lot longer than you have. We know you're the cause. We're hearing you talk about it. We got you on wire talking about it over and over. I'm going to starve her till she lies. What are they going to do with that, Charles, in your pretend life? Make-believe world. So, did my son say that? I don't have any love for my mom. My ex-husband, I got a mouth to feed. The guy goes, he has that mouth to feed because of her, and he needs to have some respect for her and what she's going through, period. Be a good man. Period. Unless you're angry because you're on the list of guys to receive money. And you're frustrated that you haven't gotten it. She won't go along with this. Right? Is that it? Every day that I don't have food, every day that I don't have shelter, every day my bills aren't paid, we get more stuff like this. So, there's that. Repeat. This is the one where the guy said, if you can't tell when is a good time to stop, like when you're caught, you shouldn't do this at all. But when you're caught, that's when you stop. And if you can't tell that, you can't be governor. If he wants to be governor, go campaign in Texas and get the fuck out of Oklahoma. Because what you're doing here is getting caught. It's not helping you. Dumb. Cause and effect, same and different before and after. Look at that. Every day that I'm broke, every day Mike's in jail, every day you invade my privacy, and every time you contact me, we get more stuff like that. Because you're pissing people off. We control the flow of information, always have. Okay, so there's this one. This was lucky. I got tired of being asked to pull her over and get her information and give it to Charles. I have real crime to fight. I don't have time for this. He's using taxpayer-funded resources for his personal profit. That's the McNamara email. He's going to arrange a false arrest and coerce. Use that to coerce me. Using the justice system, taxpayer-funded resources for your own personal profit. That was dated October 29, 2015. So we got that then. Somebody tipped us off. You upset them by telling them you were going to abuse me like that. And so, who runs Oklahoma law enforcement? Not you. Take her car away from her. Back in 2019. The last highlighted sentence. It's not legal, but I'm going to have her car towed and sold before she figures that out. So I look and it's busy, see? One order for $4 and nothing else. For an hour and a half. Yep. Not going to work for me, Mr. Perry. So you just did what you said in the recording, right? You proved out that recording right there. That's what gets us intel. You want me to be broke, you can count on it buying us intel. You spend all this money for a cover-up that ended up buying us intel. And the mafia guy's like, you don't really want sensitive information like that getting into the wrong hands, and your hands and her hands are the wrong hands. And if one person being bothered and broke makes that happen, you make sure that person's not bothered and broke, I guarantee it wouldn't happen in my organization. But we're not weak, and they are. That's what happens with sex perverts. They can't control themselves, and they make bad decisions based on their sex urges they can't control. Instead of doing what makes sense. You do the same thing every day, you get the same results. You fuck with me, you get caught. It's different than the other victims, but it's the same. Every time you do it, we get it before, not after. And then we're like, well, I told you so. You proved out that recording. You proved out that witness. And if we're getting tipped off before you do it, you don't control Oklahoma law enforcement, so who does? Yeah, it's not you. They're tipping us off. We get it before. So this was the working theory. Why is her ex-husband being a dick to her? She shouldn't have to call him at all, but if she does, why isn't he being respectful of what she's going through? And the fact that he has a mouth to feed because of her. She was gracious enough to give her hand in marriage, spend 10 years of her life, and give him a kid. A kid that he's enjoying right now. A kid that he made not love his mom. Yeah, that's a problem. I have a problem. The guy said, I have a problem with that. That's not men. That's not what real men do. So why is he being like that to her? Is he on the list? Are they both on the list, her and her kid? Of people that if she's sold like a piece of furniture and then raped, they get money out of that. Prove it out or not. Is it true or not? It's a working theory. When you do it to me, you get caught. When you do the crime to me, we get more. Right? You said it right here. Don't invade her privacy. Don't contact her or her family. And get your hands out of her wallet. She's not to be broke. So quit taking her money. Quit making her where she can't work. If she can't go to the club, she can't work. If you jam up DoorDash and she doesn't get any orders, she's not making money. That gets us intel. Is that what you want? Rejected and told on every damn day. Because only a pussy picks on women to feel tough. Just a coward.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men. Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. And you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
And I guess somebody said, I can't make the case that you're harassing her when you're always in Oklahoma. And she's broke. You can't be in Oklahoma and she can't be broke. Because stalking, you're where she is. She's had a lot of loss and injury when you're in Oklahoma, where she is. This isn't happening in Texas, it's happening in Oklahoma. There's a thing that's common with domestic violence offenders called economic abuse. And that's what it looks like you're doing when I look at her bank accounts. So, if you want me to say she's harassing you, then you have to get out of Oklahoma and she cannot be broke. Because both of those things are indicative of a stalker, a domestic violence offender, and someone who's causing intentional economic loss to control that victim. Look at this. Look at that. Trying to control me with money. Right? Sexual battery, aggravated battery, sexual assault, stalking, kidnapping, false imprisonment, or any criminal offense resulting in physical injury or death of one family or household member by another family or household member, although stalking is not a household member, clearly. Emotional abuse. Then we get, let's do economic abuse. A form of abuse when one partner has control over the other partner's access to economic resources, or a stalker hacks your phone and makes sure you have no money. Yeah, right? Restricting access to financial resources, right? Our guys call it Interference with commerce with intent to coerce. Interference with contracts with intent to coerce. Deprivation of food and shelter with intent. I'm on day 3 now again with no food. You happy? I'm not lying for you. It's not coercing shit. It's pissing me off. It's pissing everybody off. We got more intel out of that. We always do. If we get tipped off that Rogers County was supposed to pull me over and do something, or you wanted another false arrest, there's been like 20 different reasons why, 20 different things you were trying to have me false arrested for between the first one and now. So if we're getting tipped off before you do it, do you think you control Oklahoma law enforcement? I don't think so. Who does? Look at that. You're going to cause PTSD and all this stuff. Economic abuse is associated with increased depression. I don't have depression. I get pissed. You want to call that PTSD? Maybe. I do have panic attacks sometimes. I've learned how to manage them by counting, adding, subtracting. You switch your thoughts. Panic attacks happen in the creative side of the brain. When you start counting or adding and subtracting, or you do math, that switches your thoughts to the logical side, and the panic attack goes away. So I've been able to manage my emotions doing that. I get pissed though. I get really pissed. Anybody would when they haven't eaten for 3 days and malnourished. You know, my eating, my place where I live, what I drive, where I work, when I work is none of your business. Stalker. Look at this. Why did some people be cruel to others? They're sadists and psychopaths. Because normal people want to relieve suffering. If you watch the news, when there's a tragedy, people don't run to the aid of the shooter in a mass shooting. They don't run to the aid of Osama bin Laden. They ran to the aid of the victims. They wanted to stop. The police stopped the shooter. Because that's what people demand they do. So we get the help, you don't. If there's a police officer who doesn't want to help us, our guys are just dismissive with them. Like, yeah, we don't need you anyway. We got plenty of help. We're quoting you every day. And if you get tipped off, if we get tipped off before you do it, you're not running Oklahoma law enforcement. So who is? People who are kind. A man's kindness brings blessings. We get the information. His cruelty will be his downfall. You get told on and rejected. It's a decade of that. Best you can do. Okay, here's the fucking disclaimer. There is case law, Mr. Kunzweiler, on the rights of privacy in your cell phone. I studied it in my criminal law class. I haven't had a chance to pull it up. I will. But I assert those rights. They are to get out of my phone and my DoorDash app. And I need to make money. I need to pay my bills. There's legal obligations I have to meet. There's contractual obligations I have to meet. And they're not to impede that. If they do, and our guys put them in jail for that, and you're going to stand around with your, making excuses to the media when they do that, that's your choice. You're a grown man. This is what cops are supposed to do for stalking victims. Lucky was trying to, and you killed them. You had the motive to murder. Mike Neely did not. We've dedicated an entire page here for Mike. There's on your perjury. There's on your trafficking. There's on your erotomania. You got delusional erotomania. And this is for a police officer killed in the line of duty, and another one who is injured in the line of duty. He's an officer down in need of an assist, and I've done everything I can do to assist him. I've come from 4 generations of police that believe you have one job in law enforcement: relieve suffering caused by crime. Relieve it. Stop the hurting. Make the hurt go away from people. And that's the only job you have. You have no other job. And if you can't do that job, you're being paid by taxpayers. Stop spending our money and go find something else to do. Go work for Charles. I hear he pays well. Billionaire Boys Club. All I've seen is canned food. But I don't hang out with guys who are canned food or creepy or weirdo or who are cruel. That's just not my thing. Saeed actually got a real date with me. He knew how to treat a woman. If you don't know how to treat a woman right, you won't have one. If you're selfish and all that matters to you is you is all you end up with. And I hope you like you, because I don't. I rejected you. I left. It's 10 years. And you can't keep up with everybody else and just move on. You want to run for governor? Go run for governor. I don't like you. I don't want to help you. I'll never help you. I'll eat out of a dumpster until they put you in jail. Then I'll never be broke again. This is over. I can tell you, we're getting the help because everyone's sick of you. You got to be able to pick on social cues, social messages. Society is sending you a message every time you're told on. We don't like what you're doing. You're making us uncomfortable. Please stop. If I get tipped off before you do something, you're not in control of local Oklahoma law enforcement. So who is? The good guys. This is for Mike and Lucky. I trapped everybody. There's no way Mike could have done this. It's just the same thing they tried to do to me. My case is on this page. My case is on that page right there. So, our guys think like this.
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. It doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Leave me alone!